Welcome back to the XRP channel. We appreciate all of the support that many individuals have shown us. Do you know where I've been throughout the past week? I just chose to take a brief vacation, but I really appreciate everyone who reached out. It means a lot to me. We're back on track. What are you waiting for, people, if you haven't subscribed yet? To receive notifications whenever we upload something, click the red subscribe button. But considering everything from the perspective of the market, in fact, the overall market is currently rising. Indeed, a small number of coins are experiencing a slight decline, but we'll examine the wider issue. Regarding the price of the extra piece, it has decreased by roughly 0.3% in the past day in both USD and Bitcoin. As we record our report, the price is currently below $3 at roughly $2.98. The 24-hour trade volume and the $178 billion valuation. Just a little disclaimer, at roughly $3 billion as usual, this channel does not offer financial advice. Always conduct your own research and due diligence before making a cryptocurrency investment. Let's examine some of the news from today. But we must remember that the FOMC meeting was held last Wednesday and that a 25 basis point rate drop was indeed implemented. Furthermore, I am aware that many individuals are perplexed as to why prices aren't simply rising. Look at the weekly timeline to see what we're observing at the moment. In reality, we're seeing a decline in the overall market instead of an increase. Justification: promote the news event that is happening. As you can see from my daily posts prior to the FOMC meeting, I did mention that we were already priced in for the 25 BPS. It goes without saying that several members of the crypto world speculated as to whether or not the Feds could actually perform a 50 BPS instead of a 25. It would not have been priced in, of course, if that were the case. Actually, we're witnessing a slight decline, but look at the monthly timeline. Indeed, many people have already forgotten about this, but we don't want that to happen again. If you look at the market as a whole, we are still seeing growth. Naturally, I'll give you guys a little improved graphic when I pull out the charts for XRP. Just a little reminder that nothing on this channel is financial advice. As usual, always conduct your own research and due diligence before making a cryptocurrency investment. Since the rate cut, the whole cryptocurrency market capitalization has dropped by $60 billion. But since September honest, it has also added almost $270 billion. 4 days have passed since the rate cut, and we have seen a decline of roughly $60 billion. However, we must consider the wider picture. Bitcoin is self-evident. It lets us know what's going on. We have added $270 billion since the start of this month, you know. I'm going to keep reminding you guys to focus on the long term rather than the short term, even though people have already forgotten about it. Going forward, the wisdom tree predicts that Bitcoin should reach its maximum supply of 21 million units in around 2140 if there is a supply shock for XRP before then. In the upcoming years, XRP should reach its maximum supply in that year. And I'm aware that many others will come and say, well, that's totally different. You are obviously mining Bitcoin, and it is true that things are entirely different once XRP is unlocked. When XRP is unlocked, a significant portion of it is transferred to the escrow wallet. However, many individuals are unaware that the wallet's purpose is to clearly improve the blockchain itself. It goes without saying that there is a significant portion of that, and they do invest a significant portion of that as well. If you have been following XRP, you must comprehend that the major partnerships that are enabling the major companies they are purchasing are creating a hidden road. Specifically, where do you think these individuals are getting the money from? It is coming from that, so you know they are growing as far as the company is concerned. But obviously, in terms of the supply that they are holding in the escrow wallet, it would be incredible to watch if they really burn a significant portion of that in some kind of announcement or proposal. It would be extremely bullish thing, in my view. Although that is obviously only conjecture at this time, I'm sure many people are aware that that would be quite something. Double-digit price points are discussed, and some people even bring up triple-digit price points. I hate to say it, but it is not going to happen. This is what I've been saying all along. Double digits. In my view, XRP will undoubtedly reach a double-digit level. Nonetheless, triple digits represent a significant stretch. That won't happen right away. In contrast to its rivals, it necessitates the use of a ledger, you know. It must be utilized far more. And it goes without saying that's where I get to burn more and more of the bridge asset, which is XRP. Additionally, if they want to burn a sizable portion of the escrow wallet, I believe it might be quite significant. And that's where, you know, a triple-digit XRP might actually be possible. However, as of right now, I believe you are aware that we must adopt a pragmatic perspective instead of an idealistic one. Anyway, check out what Wall Street predicts about retail selling the dip. As old as time itself, institutions are purchasing the dip from retail, and Chad responds, you know. The institutional run on these assets will be legendary, but this will only last so long. Additionally, I would like to express my personal opinions about this. I want you all to look at the inflow figures if you don't think this is happening. Institutions are, in fact, growing at the moment. Additionally, you may notice a retail sale during this slump. Of course, it isn't the case, and it's clearly annoying, but institutions' primary goal at the moment is to surpass retail. They've already done it, I can say. Check out what's going on with Bitcoin. Take a look at Ethereum's current state. Even though XRP ETFs such as the genuine Pure Spot ETF are not currently available, you can still see a lot of businesses raising money to include XRP on their balance sheets. Thus, although I am aware that a lot is going on at the moment, I have observed based on the comments that have been received. The larger XRP community is aware of this and considers the wider picture. They view it realistically, yet there are many other people who, unfortunately, that is not going to happen. All you want is for the price to keep moving upward and straight. This coin isn't a meme. Despite being a utility project, this one has had one of the finest runs in the past 12 months, as you may know. However, as of right now, Coinbase only has 2 wallets with 32.8 million XRP. This represents a 95% decrease from June 5th. It's crazy to consider that Coinbase had 970 million units this year, a 95% drop. Well, the issue with Coinbase is that a significant amount of XRP that was kept there is actually moving out of the company. Additionally, that suggests that self-custody is involved, but it's really fascinating. Tell me what you believe is going on in the comments section below. Is this the ideal illustration of a supply shock that we will witness? However, notice that the president of Ripple has confirmed that she would be attending the roundtable conversation with the Senate Banking Committee. According to this essay, XRP will serve as the foundation of the new financial system in terms of crypto market structure legislation. And it goes without saying that many people may come out and say, nothing is set in stone, you know. However, we must pay more attention to the alliances that are currently being formed. Additionally, keep in mind that many individuals are already unaware of the NDAs that Ripple has signed. Once more, be aware that those NDAs must be significant in order for the public to be kept in the dark. However, I believe that would be pretty significant if that were to be revealed. I'm fairly certain you are aware that some of those NDAs are extremely optimistic. Well, and once more, time will undoubtedly reveal what those actually are, but keep in mind that they are predetermined. We're making stuff up as we go along, so it's not that. That's a fact. These are materials that have been released by Ripple itself, but let's proceed and examine this. Client highlight. Thus, one of only 4 authorized cryptocurrency custodians in South Korea, B.